I only have one question for you today. Who doesn't like a good dessert? Other than Trenton, maybe.
Well, it depends on what kind of dessert you're talking. I know for a fact that your desserts are a little different than mine. I don't do the cakes and the pies and the curds and the streusel. Well, I do a good coffee cake or a streusel.
Cakes and pies, you bet. Bring it on.
I'm not putting butter on my
How
cinnamon.
about mousse? Like just a wad of chocolate or something like mousse.
No, dude, it's probably good.
That.
The texture though, can't do that texture. You will definitely see. We're gonna. What are we doing today? Let's get started with that. I was gonna jump right into it.
Well, that's all right. We're gonna do our what we feel to be our best bourbons and whiskeys in our collections. That would be dessert style whiskey, very sweet. Let's put it that way. In our video, which I apologize, it should have came out Monday. We had all kinds of technical difficulties. I worked on it, and I finally got it figured out.
He did. I was very, very impressed.
No, him and Kyle finally got it figured out. By the time we got it figured out, it was late in the evening.
It was 8 p.m.
By the time you guys got it figured out, so Trenton made the call and just let's put it out at 7 a.m. Tuesday, which is what we did. So thank you to all the good folks that checked in with us just to make sure the family was good. I had all kinds of messages.
Did you?
Yeah, all kinds. Instagram, Facebook, making sure that we were nice. Okay. So I do appreciate that. That was very sweet, and thank you. But we just had a few issues. But in that video, Trenton, you remember I mentioned something about dessert whiskeys, and we had quite a few comments. We'd like to see what is in our collection that we would determine to be a dessert style whiskey.
At the end of this, I'd be interested. Comment below at the end of this, or right now, what your favorite dessert style thing. I'd be very interested to see what that looks like. And we're kind of all over the place with what we have going on down here.
I know.
He has 5, I have 5, and there was a special mention, right?
Well, the first one I want to mention to you that I just don't have here, unfortunately, is the Old Forester 1910. How do I not have an Old Forester 1910? We must have drained that bottle of Trenton during our Bourbon Madness tournament, and I didn't recognize her, didn't pay attention, and I don't have another one.
We looked for probably 20 minutes to a half hour.
Yes,
we got some
everywhere.
We got some renovations going on down here, so there's stuff all over the place. So it's possible that it's tucked behind something that we.
It has to be mentioned though. For $55, whatever it is, it's a beautiful, sweet maple. It's just all kinds of greatness. And the Old Forester 1910. I'm sorry I don't have it to put right here for you.
That's a shame. That's a shame. But give it a shot. It's like what, $55?
Yeah, $55, something like that.
55?
Yeah, it's 55, something
delicious.
Like that.
Very sweet and 90 proof, so very available and be kind of friendly to some
very approachable
or stuff that people really only like that's kind of sweet. Even though it's 00, it's still very, very good.
Oh.
Speaking of 00, we were fortunate enough to do a pick with the folks at Woodford Reserve. And we were going to put a Woodford Reserve up here anyways, but we just got this in a couple days ago, so we felt like it was fitting to kind of toss it in here. These, specifically this one, and then also other just regular shelf stable type Woodford 00 picks, or just Woodford 00. This is like liquid gold, man.
They're great. Marshmallowy. It gives you that s'mores, chocolatey, marshmallowy.
It's
lovely.
It's like breakfasty.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
sure.
Waffles are pretty much like a dessert. You got the bread and then you just pour syrup on it and chocolate. Okay, that's a dessert, right? That is that is basically what this is. This would be a great thing to pour in the morning with your breakfast if you're into that kind of thing. Little Belgian waffle with some syrup on it and toss that guy. You can even mix it with the syrup. I don't know. It's very good. Probably. We might have to do that.
Might have to. Why don't you check that out? Great bottle, Trent. Great bottle. Next one we reviewed just on our last video, but if we're going to do this one, I have to put it out there. Old 55 single barrel, 100 proof. Extremely confectionery, very sweet, a little bit of that oak presence to give you some backbone, but overall a decadent pour, extremely enjoyable, very sweet.
Ooh, decadent.
I love it.
Speaking of,
love it.
Widow Jane decadence.
Well,
and that was just
what a segue.
Yeah, you did.
We didn't even plan that.
No,
where's our notes? I don't have that written down anywhere.
Pretty good. The only thing that I hear about Widow Jane decadence is the price, and it is about $90 to $100. It's getting up there, which
it jumped up. Yes.
It did.
It's $100 in our area now.
Sometimes I've even seen it for like $120 at Total Wines and other liquor stores and stuff. Would I say it's that good to spend $120 on it? No. If you can find a pour at a bar, or even if you want to splurge for yourself, you got a birthday, you got an anniversary coming up, treat yourself, get the decadence. This in particular, I mean, I know they have different batches. This one is batch 3. I honestly don't know how they differ. Yeah. But if I was going to get something that was pretty much just maple syrup mixed with a little bit of water and some alcohol, this would be it. But it's also complex too. It's not just a total sweet bomb.
this is a little bit off the beaten path, so sorry about that.
Yeah,
But I was going through Discord the other night, and I noticed the thread that was talking about your tomfoolery that you mentioned in the video, last video, that there was a maple barrel finished tomfoolery. Do you have that one or no?
No, I don't.
Okay, we'll have to check that out.
Maybe that's the one with the
A
gold.
lot of the folks were saying it's better than the Decadence.
Maybe. Well, I did just pick up an old Hammer or Hamar or whatever. Hammer. That a maple barrel finish. I haven't opened it yet.
Oh,
so I'm
interesting.
Maybe we should do like a maple finish type of a show or something.
Yes.
Let us know if you want to see that.
I would love to do that. All right, next one I have for you, classic bourbon here. Classic bourbon. John J. Bowman's single barrel. I know it's a little bit hard to find, although a lot of folks have messaged me through the years about difficulties in finding this, but if you ever see it, I know it's distilled, from my understanding, Trent, it's distilled at Buffalo Trace and shipped over to John J. Bowman where they triple distill it. They do whatever they do. They put their magic pixie dust in here and it comes out to be a caramel delicious bomb. That caramel chewable candy with the vanilla on it, the name escapes me off the top of my head.
Those nasty ones, yeah.
They're not nasty, but it's wonderful. That's what this bottle is. Classic bourbon, really nice and sweet, caramel bomb, a little bit of vanilla. Love it.
And I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong with a whole lot of stuff that is a lower proof from Buffalo Trace. It usually leans very like grape and just like confectionery, sugary, candy-ish. This is probably the top of my list for those, so that's a good call. But like, if you can't find that, you could also go with regular Buffalo Trace.
Another one that's extremely approachable too, very easy on the palate.
Yeah, very good. Very
Lovely.
Good. I could not go through the show without putting a rye in here. And you might say, how do you get into dessert from a rye? But the Michter's Toasted Barrel Finish, I do know this is allocated, but this is about the dessert pour. So if you happen to find one, this is very good. It is pretty much if you were to take a box of Lucky Charms and just like blend it up in a blender and just bottled it. Maybe you put it in a barrel first to get some of that color, but man, I would chug this bottle if I could. And I don't want to because it's just that good. I'm going to savor it. But
absolutely.
I mean, it's just so good.
It is delightful. I have to tell you, I prefer the toasted rye Michter's release over the toasted bourbon for sure.
Oh, I thought the toasted bourbon was unfortunately not very good.
I think it was a little mid. Comparably speaking to the rye. I like them apples, my man.
Wow.
I've been learning a lot from you lately.
I don't think, have I said mid before? You got that from like TikTok or something. I don't know where that's coming from. Wow.
Next one I got for you is anything Ambira finished, guys. Anything Ambira. I'm putting up ASW because Trent and I agree this is one of our favorite Ambira bottles that we have down here in the basement.
It's the best one.
This ASW for sure. It's going to give you that cinnamon toast crunch. We've talked about it before. It's very dessert style. That flavor profile can catch up with you a little bit where you might have to set it aside for a while and then come back to it in a few months or whatever. But when you're talking dessert style bourbons, you absolutely have to mention an Ambira finished bourbon.
And then if you do happen to get an Ambira, this is a little bit heavier on the Ambira because it's a little bit higher proof. You could also go with like an RD1. Their Ambira, it's like $55, $60, something like that. It's also a very good bottle. I do like this one a little more. It's got a little bit more depth into it. But if you want something a little sweeter, RD1, pretty solid option.
There you go.
All right. We're getting into the coffee, dark, rich type things of the thing, and you got the complete opposite, which is interesting. The Westward, what is this, 2023?
I'm so proud of him right now.
I don't know what year this is. 2023. Cast strength, I think. This is just, I open this every single time I come here, and I just smell it. I don't even drink it. It smells and tastes just like a chocolate cake, and I hate chocolate cake, mostly because of the icing. If you can give me the actual cake part, no icing, and do like a little ganache. I almost said ganoush. A ganache. Oh, okay, that's like this in a bottle.
I love that bottle.
It's one of the sweetest and best single malts I've ever had, and even better that it tastes like cake, which says a lot because I don't even like it.
Yeah.
Also, a little bit on the expensive side, about 120, 125 bucks. Also, it is a single malt, so if you're not very familiar with single malts, see if you can find it at a bar or steal it from a friend's house or whatever, but it's very good.
Yeah, and for those folks of you that are out there in the Oregon area, we will be at Westward, first part of June sometime?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're in Bull Run. Can't wait for that trip. All right, the next one I have for you, Penelope Rio. I mean, this is just magic in a bottle right here. This is super sweet again, very dessert style. What they did is they combined the Ambira finish and also added on a honey barrel finish. I mean, you got both in that bottle. Very, very good. We never did get a second or third, or I don't know how many releases they have on now. This is actually the first one they came out with.
I think they're on batch 3 or
Are they
release
batch
3
3?
or something. I don't know. We don't. They are allocated. It is hard to find.
Yeah, and we don't honestly. If we have one, we don't really truly pick up a lot of batches 2, 3, 4, and all that business.
No.
You know, once I run out of this one, sure, I'll pick up another one. But,
Yeah.
But this one's beautiful. It's delicious. It's very sweet. It's almost like an after dinner type dessert pour.
It is. It is.
For sure.
And along with my next one, and also my last one. This is from Glens Creek. This is their Cafe Olay. And again, just a coffee. This is like it was finished in a coffee barrel, if that's even a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
It is deep. It's rich. It's chocolatey. It's like fudgy almost.
That is true.
Yeah.
Fudgy is a good word. It is.
It's like a
delightful.
brownie from Panera Bread with that little pinch of the powdered sugar on it. Woo, man.
That's a good one. And we may be getting a barrel pick of that. Could you imagine? No, I can't.
Oh my God. I would buy 5 barrels of this if I could. It's going to be
It's
rough.
been a while since you've had it, isn't it?
It has, and
For
this
me
is
too.
like $65. You can get this
Yeah.
at Glens Creek, or I know they have distribution in small amounts in like Kentucky, Tennessee, a couple other places. This is 105 proof.
Yeah.
And it's to die for.
beautiful.
If you like coffee or dark chocolate, voluptuous? What does that mean? Unctuous? Yes. Oh my! It's all the words I just said.
Yes.
I don't know what they mean,
And
so
some.
hopefully it's not something
And
bad.
some.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least for me, anything honey barrel finish, guys. Anything honey barrel. I'm actually highlighting this Cedar Ridge American Single Malt. This is the quintessential single cask collection. This one here was given to us by Matt and Katie. It's very, very kind of you, and thank you for your generosity. That right there is just oozes honey.
Yeah.
It is. And what I like about it, now, if that type or that much of a honey finish was on a bourbon per se, I would say it's too much.
Yeah.
But in this particular bottle, because it is a single malt, in my opinion, that malt gives it that backbone it needs to stand up to that super sweet honey finish. But Winnie the Pooh would love this bottle. That's all I'm saying. They would just love it.
It'd be even better if they put like one of those little honey little doodads in
Yeah.
the stir stick.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen jars of honey at the store or at like a farmer's market or anything where they take the actual honeycomb and they like toss it in the jar of honey, it's like you took that and just took a bite out of it. It's like funky, organic-y type. It's really unique. It's very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's unbelievable. So that's our choices. Love to hear if you refute any of these and or if you have additions to them, because I'm always up for a good dessert style whiskey.
I will look at the comments on this and maybe buy every single one that is suggested. But please don't recommend Willet Pot Still or Malort. That's not a dessert. I'm sorry.
Willet Pot still doesn't make your list?
If you think that eating a raw barrel is
what a
dessert, then
shame.
sure, Willet Pot Still might be
A
considered.
raw cedar barrel. You have to be correct.
Oh, yeah.
It's very cedar.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, we're getting on another rabbit trail. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate you. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly, and we'll see you next time right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.